I'm Kristen Ma from holisticvanity.com, and this is part of my Sun series. So this video is going to be all about the difference between a natural mineral sunblock and conventional chemical-based sunscreens. Now, I should be really upfront about my biases. I am a huge advocate of natural skincare, and I only work with natural skincare, so I'm going to be pro mineral block and semi-anti chemical blocks, even though I don't like to be anti anything because it really depends on the situation and making informed decisions for that person's specific skin or skin ailments. But this video is not about that. This video is about the differences between mineral blocks and chemical blocks. Now, this really lies in the mechanism of which they protect. A mineral block literally is crushed up pulverized minerals that you apply it, whether it's in a lotion form or a makeup powder form, and you put it on and get a physical block. It's like almost like an umbrella for your skin. You just put it on and it's a barrier between you and the sun. So when a UV ray comes in contact, it will be deflected. Now, if you use a chemical-based sunscreen, you apply it, and there's a reaction that takes place in your skin, and when a UV ray comes in contact, you absorb and neutralize that UV ray. So again, you are being protected in a completely different way. Neutralization against, physical deflection. So this, to me, brings about a whole host of benefits for mineral blocks. First and foremost, you don't need to wait that 20 minutes for that reaction to happen. You usually see on the label of a sunblock, wait 20 minutes before going into the sun because that needs to take place. As soon as you put on a mineral block, though, you're completely, your protection kicks right in. The other benefit is that you have all-day protection with a mineral block. So you put it on, it's physical, it's like putting on a coat, and you have that coat on the whole day. Whereas with a chemical-based block, you need to apply it, and then the chemicals usually go inactive every couple hours, so you have to keep reapplying. Now, I find a lot of my clients who have started with a chemical-based block will say, oh, I have it in my makeup or my moisturizer, and I put it on in the morning, but then that means in the evening, or as the sun is setting and you're walking home from work, for instance, you're not actually getting protection, or on your lunch break or whatnot. Now, that's not to say that you apply a mineral-based block and you can just frolic in the sun all day. It just means that you put it on as long as you go in and take shade breaks. And I have a whole video about different things such as shade breaks that enhance your SPF. But you go and you take shade breaks, for instance, that when you come home, you'll still be protected. Because the way an SPF is calculated is really about elongating your burn time. Again, and part of the series I have a video about this as well. So, it really means if you burn in 1 minute, you put it on SPF, mineral or chemical, you elongate that to whatever the SPF factor is. So if it's 30, it'll be 1 minute to 30 minutes. So with a mineral block, you still have that, but again, it's like putting on a coat and you have it all day, but you still have to take breaks every time your SPF sort of essentially runs out. But once you cool your skin down, it's still working, whereas with a chemical-based SPF, you usually have to reapply. The third thing that I want to mention is safety. Now, this is really important to me, and this is why I love mineral blocks, and I advocate for them instead of using a chemical-based block, and it's because of the fact that we absorb everything we put on our skin, and that affects, our health, essentially. So many chemical SPFs contain sunscreen agents that are endocrine disruptors, so they can mimic hormones, and so our body thinks we have a certain level of hormones, which we don't, and that can cause many implications. I imagine primarily hormonal imbalance. And then the third thing that is really important to consider, and it's not really about the mechanism of SPF, chemical or mineral, it's about the base. So if you're using a natural mineral block, most likely it's going to be from a natural skincare brand versus a chemical block, which is mostly going to be from a conventional brand. And so the other ingredients within the product are also going to maybe either be chemical or natural. In the pure and simple SPF that we manufacture, it's going to be in a base of natural oils, waters, etc., whereas you use a chemical-based block and it's often in a base of petroleum. So petroleum is very clogging to your pores, it's extremely irritating, and a lot of people get really irritated by their sunscreen. It's one of the most popular products to get irritated by, and it can be from the actual sunscreen ingredients, but it also can be the chemicals which are in the base of the sunscreen. So these are the differences between mineral and chemical SPF. Again, I have to admit my biases, but I hope you got some great information out of this, and I encourage you to research this further. And share with me your thoughts on chemical versus mineral sunscreen. Now, if you want to know more about SPF, calculating it, different tips for sun protection that don't include just applying a sunblock, I encourage you to watch the other videos on sun and sun protection that I have made on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/holisticvanity, or just go straight to my website, which is holisticvanity.com.